Buddy, it's me, and I'm back again. I know it's been a couple months. It's been I think around 4 months since the last time I actually uploaded a video, and there's a very good reason for that. I've been mostly busy with work. I've been working on my own company, as you can see in the background there. That's just some company info and stuff like that. I'm working on like budgets and stuff like that. But that's what I'm not really here to talk about today. What I am here to talk about today is that lately I've been seeing like there's not really any hope. Like there's not a whole lot of hope in the world. And that's another reason why I haven't uploaded or made any videos yet, because I've just been trying to like get past it all, because oh man, it is hard. It is so hard with my generation right now, which is Gen Z. I know it's so horrible. Ooh, gross. But there's a very good reason for that. I've been feeling very hopeless about like how my life has been going, or how life really is nowadays. So, to give an example, I'm just going to show some stuff. I'm just going to show some stuff here. So, where living to right now is Alberta, Canada. And right now, this is a news article, says Alberta's economy is expected to outperform this year, but young people are still struggling to find work. Outside of the pandemic, Alberta's job market hasn't been this bad for people under 25 since the downturn of the early 1990s. It's even worse than the pandemic. So let's go into the labor force statistics. Now, this is literally off the Canadian government website. So some of the data might be skewed a little bit. So let's see here now. So I got it set for Alberta, both genders, March 2026. So this was literally last month. So between the ages of 15 and over, we're looking at an unemployment rate of 7.2, and a participation rate of 68.4, and an employment rate of 63.5. So 7.2 is still pretty low. And for ages between 15 to 24, the unemployment rate is even higher at a 15.5. Now, how Alberta government and the Canadian government as a whole works out their employment rates, or the unemployment rate. So the unemployment rate is based off the amount of people currently on EI, or people that are currently looking for employment, according to the Canadian government. So these unemployment rates might actually be quite higher. And for ages 25 years and older, it's like 5.8. So, and 6.1 between 25 to 45. So if you're noticing here, 4.6. So as you may or may not notice, the unemployment rate, the highest unemployment rate out of any generation, has to be between 15 to 24 years old, which is mostly Gen Z. March 2026. Let's see here now. Unemployment rate is 6.5. Still pretty high. 13.9, which isn't bad. Still significantly higher. And 5.3. So it's actually gone down significantly for people over the age of 25. 5.4. It's also gone down for over the people of age over 25. And 5.2 for people over the age of 25, and the people that are 55 years and over have a better unemployment rate than the people between the ages of 15 to 24. There's more young unemployed people than there are elderly people. And you may be thinking to yourself, okay, so why is that? Well, as you can see, this here is a news article from the Career Compass Canada saying, are Gen Z hires unsatisfactories or are employers getting it wrong? And it's a lack of motivation or initiative, a lack of professionalism, poor communication skills, struggling with feedback, and inadequate problem-solving abilities. As Intelligent.com survey highlights, 9 in 10 hiring managers recommend adequate training for new hires by investing in training programs that address workplace norms. See, but the thing is, though, why would a company want to invest in training, right? Like, why would they want to train them up when they can just have another company do it for them and then hire them on later? Or they could just hire someone from out of the country using the foreign worker program to hire someone that's out of the country who's already has all the training that they want, and they'll also work more hours than, say, young people will, because they don't have to go to school or find any other kind of education outside of school. And even the cost of getting that education nowadays, with most things, will put you back around $18,000 to $20,000 for, say, like college education. So we have companies hiring less young people because they want people with the proper training. But in order to get that training, you have to have money in the first place to be able to pay for that training that they want you to have. But then again, they also want you to go to a different company while you're less experienced and then come back to them once you're done, for there's less liability on their part. So this would be a good mindset for a company, for like a company. But this isn't just a company. This is all companies. Tim Hortons, Walmart, McDonald's, Canadian Tire, most of the starting jobs, even some of the higher up jobs where you'd think you need an education for. But then again, how are you supposed to save up around, I don't know, about $20,000 if you're only making $15 an hour? It would take you to save up $20,000 on a $15 an hour salary. It would probably take you, without eating or consuming any food, or you're just like a robot, I'd say it'd probably take you around 9 months. That's without eating or drinking or driving or living. Actually, like without even breathing oxygen or driving to work. That's with zero expenditures. So if you're making minimum wage, it could take you a couple years to even be able to afford the education, unless you have parents with very deep pockets. Or if you got family with connections, because apparently your family can just get you in on a job if they know the right people. Because, you know, that's just how it is, I guess. So with Gen Z or younger men not making as much money compared to, say, some of the older men over 25, how do you think the dating market's going right now? How do you think that's doing? When you have a bunch of young people, a bunch of young dudes who can't make enough money to really start a family or support a relationship, but you have a bunch of guys who are 26, 27, closer to their, in their late 20s, closer to their early 30s. What do you think happens? Well, this happens. So I got curious. I was like, okay, couple's age gap in Fort McMurray, Alberta, which is where I'm currently living to right now. Dating and relationship dynamics in Fort McMurray, Alberta are heavily influenced by the region's unique oil sands industry, which often creates a transcendent, high-income, and male-dominated demographic. While specific data on the average age gap in Fort McMurray is not formally published, the following dynamics influence the relationship in the area as the demographic imbalance. There's a noticeable surplus of men in the region, particularly in prime working ages between the ages of 25 to 50. So, if you're 25 and 26 years old, this is the main age demographic that most women are looking for, like these aged kind of men. Reports suggest that women in this area can receive high levels of attention, which may lead to a diverse dating pattern, including age gap relationships, which is most likely probably because they're always hooking up with guys over 25 years old, because if you look at the unemployment rate and then the participation and employment rate, compared to these, 54 compared to 65.2, the statistics literally show you, like, I'm not making this up. This is off the Canadian government website. Statistics generally say that you have to be within this age area in order to be considered a viable long-term partner. Now, I'm not talking about short-term relationships, because I'm not going to include short-term relationships, because short-term relationships is mostly like a fling or like a friends with benefits type of thing, which more than not, most of the time usually ends up with, you know, it not being like an actual thing. So, do that. It makes it difficult because people want the in-person IRL meeting, but they're also very defensive when they're out and about going through their daily lives. Because the first thing when someone comes up and talks to you, with most people, is not like, oh, hello, hi. It's more like, what does this person want with me? Why do they want to talk to me? What do they want? What do they need? Why are they talking to me like this? Oh, they clearly want something from me. Everyone's got their guards up all the time. All the time. So, finances first. Frugal dating. Nearly 30% of Canadians are going on fewer dates due to the cost, leading to more free or low-cost activities. Or friends with benefits. Along with the app fatigue and RL comeback. So, but you can't get those RL interactions without spending money. But then again, it comes back to, do you see the point I'm trying to make here? Do you see where I'm coming from? Am I crazy? So what you're telling me is young men between the ages of 20 to 25 are unable to find a committed partner, are resulted to going to single night, going to friends with benefits, because that's all they can really get. They can't find work, which means they can't afford a place to live. They have to live with their parents. They can't afford the insurance on their car if they even got one, or if they had a car in the first place, which they probably can't afford. So, and the one other thing that may be pleasurable in life is finding a committed partner and starting a family is completely out of the reach of those. And the women who do want to start families aren't looking for those kinds of people. They're mostly looking for these kinds of people over here in these three columns right here. So, do you see why I've completely lost hope in just the way that we're all living now? There's no hope. There's no hope. Normally at the end of a video, I'd come on here and I'd say, hey, I got a couple of solutions. You know, this is what we can do. This is how we can figure it out. Hey, you know what? Let's try doing this. But that's not going to happen. There's nothing we can do. because there's no power. We're powerless. We don't have the leverage to create change because we don't have the financial ability to change anything. The systems that we're trying to navigate through like a rat in a maze is currently being run by the people who are keeping us where we're at now. Unemployed, jobless, unless you're lucky, unless you got family somewhere, or else your mom or your dad or your brother can get you a job somewhere, or you got a friend with a good connect. Because it used to be that you could go through high school and you could have an education and you could start at your first job and then build up a repertoire of work, satisfactory work. You can't do that anymore because the companies aren't looking for you. They aren't looking for me, and they aren't looking for you. That's just the basic fact of it. They're looking for the people that are the less liability. They don't want to spend the money on the training. They don't want to spend any kind of expenditures. What they want to do is make as much profit as possible, even if that's at the expense of an entire generation. So we can't find steady employment unless we have family and so on and so forth. We can't find a committed relationship to even begin the makings of a family, which is what you're supposed to do in your early 20s, is start a family and build up a base towards having kids. And even then again, a lot of Gen Z are getting away from kids because they just don't want to bring them into a world where the costs are so high and everything's this is just not worth it. They just think, like, why would I bring a person into this world? And the women who are around, they are more obsessed and more determined to fight after those in an older age bracket because they have the money and the work and the cars and the houses. And that's just how it is. You know, they can tell you, it's like, oh, it's all about your personality. It's all about all this nonsense. And it's no. If you look from things from a very basic view, basically speaking, what is the definition and the fundamentals that a person looks for in a relationship? And that is stability. So they do have their honeymoon phase, but after the honeymoon phase, the real thing that holds the relationship together is that stability. Stability, if I'm saying that correctly. So, and plus, if a girl looks at you and you seem like you're not really going anywhere, completely not because it's your fault, it's because, like I've been talking about this whole video, it makes it really damn difficult to try to make your point. So that's why I haven't been uploading gaming videos. And that's why I haven't been uploading YouTube in general. Because it's just, there's nothing. There's no hope. I feel like we're all just surviving at this point. And hopefully, I can say hopefully things will get better. But at this point, we're already off the edge. Once we've jumped, we're falling. And we're still falling. And we have a long way to go before we hit the bottom. And I hope that maybe some of you guys have had the same experience. I know most of my audience is probably male. And if you're having the same kind of feeling of hopelessness that I'm feeling, leave it down in the comments maybe. Because I know there's probably other people out there feeling this way as well. So that's why I haven't been uploading to YouTube a whole lot. I just mostly trying to survive, just like the rest of our generation out here. So, I hope you guys have a good day, and I guess I'll see you in the next one, whenever that will be.